Welcome back to the Business from Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Abby McGee. Today, I get to sit down with someone who has been building something so special in downtown Wilmington for over 15 years. Jenna McKnight opened Aqua Fedora in 2009, a boutique in the heart of historic downtown that has become a genuine institution in this city. And somewhere along the way, she looked around at what she loved doing and built a second business out of it. She's also the owner of Aqua Home Staging, and she is someone whose businesses are rooted in something I find really compelling, a deep personal aesthetic and a genuine love for this town. I know she is going to have some fun stories and some amazing wisdom to share with all of us. So let's get into it. You're listening to Business from Scratch, the podcast for people building businesses they love without losing themselves along the way. I'm your host, Abby McGee. Let's get started. Jenna.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is take two because we started this and we had a whole conversation, and then the boys over there told me they weren't recording. So we're gonna start over. I'm so glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
I adore you.
Same.
Don't be nervous. We're gonna have a good time.
Okay.
And I have lots of notes that I will not look at.
Okay.
But they're here as my security blanket. So
Okay.
yeah. So Jenna, you own Aqua Fedora, which has been in downtown Wilmington for a gazillion years.
Almost 17.
That is wild.
It is actually. It is kind of crazy.
It is crazy that a local, cute little boutique in downtown Wilmington has survived all that it has survived.
Yeah.
The rise of like Amazon and all the fast fashion and COVID and all of the craziness downtown, which is never ending.
Oh, yeah.
So you are a badass for lasting for 17 years.
Thank you.
So talk to me, go back to 2009 was when you started, right?
Yes.
Go back to 2009. What were you doing before Aqua Fedora, and what made you decide to start?
Okay. So before opening Aqua Fedora, I was actually living in Florida, and I was working at an art gallery, and I loved it. And I did like a lot for that gallery. Like I knew, like I learned a lot there because I was doing like a lot of the back end of things. And that's where I like learned about a small business and how it runs, and learned about QuickBooks, how to use it. So that was part of my training. But yeah, I got to a point where I just realized like, okay, I can do something like this. Like I can do this. I didn't want to have an art gallery, though. I wanted to have a little shop because I fell in love with Wilmington when I went to UNCW for a year.
Okay.
And I wanted to come back here. I hated Florida. But yeah, I got to a point where I was like, I think I can do this. And then I don't know how long I planned and saved for, but it was like a good while. And then made the move in 2009 to open up.
So you moved here to open the store?
Yes. Yeah, because I lived here previously.
Okay.
Fell in love with it. Moved away for 5 years. And then like to find my space, I was making trips back to walk around and look, stuff like that.
Are you in the same space now that you were back then?
No. I originally had a spot close to the corner of Market and Front where it's now a tattoo shop.
Okay.
Right next to Lure.
Yeah.
That was my first spot, and I lived upstairs in the beginning as well. And then I was there for 3 years, and then moved around the corner in 2012 to where I am now. So yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so you opened the shop, and it was a lot different back then. It
was right after the recession, or it was like when like people thought I was crazy for opening a store then, but I had nothing to compare it to. And so, and I also
the blind faith of a baby entrepreneur.
Oh, for sure. And the funniest thing is that when I planned on my opening weekend, so I had not lived here in 5 years. So I didn't, and I only lived here for a year before. So I didn't really know whatever. I chose October 3rd as the opening day. Happened to fall on Riverfest weekend. Oh. So, it was great. It was great. But it was so great that I thought, oh my God, this is easy. I can do this. Because that weekend was nuts. And so I was like, wow, if this is like, you know, so anyway. And then we were going into winter right after that, which is very slow.
Yeah.
Very slow. But yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, Matt and I joke all the time about the trick that opening a new business plays on you, and you think, you know, because it's the hype of new and everybody flocks to the new, right?
Yes.
I remember when we opened Starling and it was like the place to go.
Yep.
And it was busy all the time, every day, even like in the middle of the week. And we were like, look at us. We are hot stuff. Look at what we did. Like,
Well, you are, though.
Well,
you are.
But listen, then we were like, well, we can do this. Let's open another one. And we did. And then we were like, what have we done? Like, because the hype doesn't last forever.
Right.
And it will fall off as it does. Like you have a high in the beginning and then it settles into what it's going to be. And that's reality, right? And so finding your way through the reality of it is what will make or break you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had the hype of Riverfest.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
And then winter. So how did you survive that first full year?
So again, I went in with no expectations. Really. And so I think when it was slow in the winter, I was just kind of like, oh boy, okay. I don't even know what I thought except like, oh, you know what I mean? Like some days walking out of there with like, in the double digits of like, $89 in sales. It's like, okay. But then when summer came back around, summers are the easiest months for, us downtown, in retail because vacationers. So that came back and it was good. And then I started it's funny because I will say winter smacked me in the face. Every single year I was shocked by it. And until the 10th year, I actually now I'll walk down to other stores and I'll talk to them like every now and then. In January, I'll be like, it's normal. It's normal. Okay? Yeah. Like this sucks. But yeah. So I just I have to roll with it. I just keep on keeping. I don't know. I've always just kind of like, you have to keep on
you have to keep on. And then after a while you can anticipate the cycles and plan for it. And we still struggle with that. I mean, Salt and Charm's been open for brick and mortar for 5 years.
Okay.
And we're not shocked by the slower seasons, but it is even when they're coming, like having an actual plan to survive it is the second layer, right? No, it's coming, and then what are you going to do to survive it? And so you don't just like looking around like we got to lay off everybody and we got to take out a loan and all this crazy stuff. But so apart from the dead of winter and that opening year, then you had to deal with COVID and how everybody shifted. When did it shift to people buying so heavily online? Because that wasn't, I know people were buying online in 2009. Yep. But I'm sure there was like a speeding up period of that.
So I know 2013 was a very weird year. And I do it's funny because all the years, they kind of blend now. And I can't remember when it got so heavily like everyone shopped online, but I know in the last couple of years, people have started saying more and more that they like to see the real, they like to go to stores and I think after COVID, when everyone had to shop online and then that shifted things and then they got sick of it and they're like, okay, I want to go out and see what I'm getting. And so, I don't know. I don't know if I even answered your question, but.
Well, no, that's, you did. You talked about when it was ramping up.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad to hear that you're seeing a shift in people wanting to come back in the store and have that experience. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager and even in my young 20s, I used to enjoy going shopping. And about once a week, I would go walk around the mall.
Yep, that used to be a thing.
That was the thing before you were so distracted by your phone. And I feel like the phone's just ruined us. But I talk to my daughter Riley all the time. I'm like, don't you want to go hang out at the mall? She's like, why would I do that? I'm like, that's where we hung out. That's what we did when we were teenagers. Yeah. And that was the experience. And you go and you had $30 in your wallet and you go find something to buy.
Yeah.
But it's so different now. And you are fighting against our lives are too busy.
Convenience.
Yes. The convenience aspect. It's so easy to jump on Amazon or whatever and buy something. And we're very distracted by a million things going on, and even like settling our mind enough to be able to get in the car and go shop is a feat sometimes, I feel like.
Right. It is.
Yeah. So how are you combating that? Like what about your marketing and what about the way you run your store makes it to where people don't feel that way?
Well, I'm lucky in my location, I will say that, where when people are walking around downtown, I'm right there on the main part. The store, like the vibe that I have in the store, people like it. I don't know. They walk in the door and they're just like, it's so cute in here. And like there's a place to sit there. It's very cozy. And lately what people keep saying is a lot of people visit here every year and they keep telling me like, it's like, especially lately, every time we come to Wilmington, we have to come in and we always find something. We love this place. So, I guess it sticks with like the ambiance in there. People they like the experience and they like what they get. So they remember it and then they come back. I don't know. All I have been able to do is create a nice shopping environment to where everything's neat. It's not like TJ Maxx where you go in, it's like everything's everywhere. And I try to keep it that way. And so that's all I can do is like provide like a pleasant space.
Yeah, well, it's I've talked about this in other episodes too, about how businesses miss the opportunity to be hospitable. And that's in my face all the time because I'm in the actual hospitality business, right? But if we don't create environments that people feel comfortable in, they will not ask us back, right? And so that is forefront in our business model is we want people to feel welcomed and taken care of and even loved.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you can infuse that into whatever business I don't care if you have an oil change place, like make people feel welcome when they come in. That goes so far, especially now when people feel disconnected.
Yes.
If they come into your place and feel connected, they will come back.
Yes. And that is something when I'm training my employees, my number one thing, customer service. That's all we have got. Like they can go anywhere, but they need to, feel welcome, feel taken care of. And I don't know, that's like part of what we try to do. And so I don't know, that's all I can do. I can't, because even like marketing, I mean, I'm on Instagram, so is everyone. And it's just like, it's really hard to reach everybody. So we all pitch in with that. We do what we can. But as far as like when people come, I do want them to come back. And we do have people who do. So it's working.
Well, you're doing something right because you've survived when most small business like that doesn't survive. They don't survive more than a few years, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's so hard to make a name for yourself and go for 17 years.
Yeah. And it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like it has been
a
roller coaster.
Have you had to like dig your heels in and get through some seasons where you thought it'd probably be easier to close?
So I've never had that thought because I don't know what else I would do, to be quite honest. I thought I would have to after COVID because when we had to shut down, I was one of the lucky recipients of a PPP loan. If I wouldn't have gotten that, I don't know.
Survived.
I don't know. I don't know if I would have. I don't think so. But luckily we did. And it was just like, crawling out of the depths. And then, because that was also right after winter. And so in the spring, we're all like getting ready for, influx of people. And that year it was like, nope, you're closed. And then we got to open. And then it was like still weird. But then things came back and people were visiting Wilmington more than before, like from North Carolina, like people who who live in Charlotte or Raleigh, like more than ever, people started coming to visit from like our state, and then they loved it, and then they'll come back. I don't know. It was like the weirdest shift of that, like more North Carolina people visiting Wilmington.
Interesting.
And later in the year, like it went into fall and because we had a really nice fall that year, but it used to be a very distinct line of start of the season, end of the season. And then that year it got muddied and it was like fall. People were still coming in town to visit. And then since then, other things have changed that too, as far as like this season. Like now it's a big wedding town. So fall, big wedding time. And like, I don't know, the concert venue downtown, that changed things a lot.
I bet
too.
it did. And the Wilmington, the wedding industry has grown so much, and I imagine that would, because your September, October, some of November is still so many weddings.
Yeah.
And there's so many like centered around that downtown area.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you get to see how the tourism industry affects small businesses more than I do, because my business isn't really affected by tourism. I mean, the bar, yeah, for sure, but not Salt and Charm so much, except for the wedding industry being, so revitalized that our fall is insane.
I would think, yeah.
For sure. So, and then when in your business journey did you add online sales?
I had online the whole time.
From the very beginning?
From the very beginning.
Okay.
I set up my website before I opened the store and my Facebook page. Because I used, that was back when Facebook, if you followed a business and they posted, people saw every single post. That has changed.
You actually saw what you followed, what you chose to follow?
Yes.
That's a novel idea.
Oh my God, it was amazing. So that's changed. But in the beginning, that was how I promoted a lot. And yeah, I don't know. But so I've had the website, the whole time.
Yeah. And do you know what percentage of your business comes through the website?
Very little.
Okay.
Very little. But what I think it's helpful with is for people to go to it to see what we have. Because I have people coming all the time and they're like, oh, I was looking at this dress online. I want to come try it on.
Okay.
So if nothing else, it's like people can see what we have. And so, I mean, I don't know how many sales I get a month from the website, but it's only like a few. Just a few. So,
but if they're coming into the store because of what's on the website, and that's hard to track, right?
Right,
it's hard to,
exactly, because not everyone's going to tell me.
Right. But you know that it's of value.
Oh, yes, must have the website.
So are you the one that keeps up with the website and posting all the pictures?
We all do it.
All do.
Yep, we all. That's a shared little task.
I bet, because it's constant.
It is constant, because we do it manually. If something, we have to constantly update.
So at some point, I want to say it was probably, I think it was 7 years ago when you started the staging business, Aqua Home Staging.
It was 2014. How many years ago was that?
We're not going to do math.
12 years.
12.
Isn't that weird?
7 years, maybe 7 years into.
Okay.
That's what I meant. 7 years into owning Aqua Fedora.
Okay.
You started Aqua Home Staging, which is where you're staging real estate that is selling. We actually catered an event that you staged a home in recently.
And the food was amazing.
And my team sent me pictures of all the events when I'm not there. And I was like, what's Jenna doing there? What is she doing there?
I was hanging out.
So what triggered that? Because I know that you have an eye for the aesthetic and an eye for design, and the way you set up your store is very hospitable and homey. So what was the trigger for you to open this? Because and staging is very different from decorating a home that somebody's going to live in.
Very different. Totally different mindset, because staging is just making it look cute temporarily. Whereas design, like I'd be sitting down with people and deciding like what they're going to live with, and totally different.
Right.
So I got into it because at the time my sister was a real estate agent, and she was just like, you really should get into staging houses. And I was like, okay, okay. I'll get right on that. And then there was a house that one of her colleagues was selling, and it wasn't selling. It was on the market for months, and I think like 5 months. And when I looked at the pictures, I could see exactly why. It's one of those historic homes on like 5th Avenue or 5th Street.
5th
Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wow. So it was old. It had rooms. Every room was like a different color. There's like apple green, there was navy blue, there was pink, there was rust orange. All these colors were used. There were also random things left in the house, like just random pieces of furniture and a tricycle, which looked creepy.
Oh, yeah, that's super creepy.
Yeah. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's really bad. And I decided to stage it at no charge for her. We had a party with like food and a band. And that's when I was showcasing what I could do. It was very expensive to get into. But yeah, that's how I just jumped. I launched. I just did the launch party.
You just did it.
And then after that, someone contacted me like a week later and she was like, I need you to stage my house. She knew the value of staging because she was from California. Because here people still aren't super familiar all the time. Like they're just, it's just different. And so she hired me and then I just went from there and like someone else hired me and then word of mouth.
Love that.
And it's just been going. It's crazy. Like it's crazy.
That's a lot of work. Okay. So explain to me, I don't know how, I know what staging is, but
Yes.
explain to me the business side of it. When you're staging a home, are you actually buying furniture to go in that home?
Yes. Yes. And
do you have a warehouse somewhere?
I do.
Like with
I
a
do.
crap ton of furniture in there?
I do. Well, currently there's not actually a crap ton in there because it's
all being staged.
It's all, yes. And if I were to get everything back, I don't have room for it all.
That's amazing.
It's actually terrifying.
That's amazing.
It is. But yeah, I have a warehouse.
Okay.
And so I do purchase the stuff to use and I reuse it. And then I'll retire it after a little bit and get something else. And there's been plenty of time like that house that I did where your people were there. I had to buy a lot for that house.
It's a huge house. And it's also a level of house that demands a certain level of furnishing.
Yes, it did. So
yeah.
That one was
so
a big one.
that is not an easy, inexpensive business to get into, right? That is a lot up front.
Yeah. There were times in the beginning when we had like several houses staged and I had to use my own furniture from my house. And it's like we were sitting on the floor. Like it got, because I was like, I can't buy another sofa.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. And so it's been a trip, but it's going. So
that's great. And I love that there's the real estate market here. There's not a shortage of money in this town. That is for sure.
Right.
And I didn't really understand it until I got into the business I'm in. And I was like, you people,
what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Please tell me so I can change the business that I'm doing. There's no shortage of money for sure. And the real estate industry here is big. So there's definitely a market for it. And I love that people see the value in it.
Yes. I love when they do. Not everyone does. And that's where like some people will think that their location is going to sell their house or like whatever. And it's the whole thing I have to explain over and over. It's like a psychological thing where if people are going online and they're looking at pictures, an empty house is not going to pull them in. It's just not going to. You need to give them something to be like, ooh. Same thing when they walk in the door. If they walk into an empty house, it's going to feel like a little cold and like it's not like, ooh. So you want them walking in being like, oh, this is cute. Yeah.
So is your client a realtor or is your client the homeowner?
So most of them are the realtors. And then sometimes a homeowner will reach out and get me, but it's usually the realtor that brings me in and is like, here's someone we recommend for this. So yeah.
What was your process? And if you don't want to answer these kind of questions, you can just tell me to shove it. What was your process to go through to figure out how to price that? So, right, because you're not buying a couch that's going to stay in the house forever, right? So how do you put a value on that couch being in the home for 2 weeks or however long?
Oh my God, Abby, I don't really know. I'm like,
got it.
What do I do? Because if you Google it, Google will say a stager should charge about 2% of the like list price or something. No.
The list price of the house.
Of the house. So, but that's like, no, you can't just, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I came up with like a price list kind of like, okay, I would rent a couch out for this and then the accent chairs for this per month. And I just kind of made up the pricing.
So it's like they're renting the furniture from you is how you price it.
Yes.
It's not like I can stage this house for $10,000.
Right.
It's
it's based on what all they need. And so I will give them a quote and say, the rental, I say the plan. I'm like, I think you should stage this. And then I'll say, it's going to be this much for the rental for a month. And then of course there's other fees for like the delivery and the pickup and all that stuff for movers. But I literally had to just kind of, and I know it seems to have worked.
You got lucky.
Yeah. I know my price is good compared to other stages. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong, but no, I feel like it's fair and I feel like, I don't know, it's worked so far. So
that's good.
Yeah. But
You're profitable.
Yes.
Okay.
But even with the store, I didn't go to school for this. I didn't graduate from college. I just had to wing it. I was emailing someone that used to own a store downtown, asking questions that worried her. She actually got to a point where she's like, "You're starting to worry me. I think that you should go and take a business class at Cape Fear." And I was like, "Nope, no time. Thank you.
Just going to figure it out."
And I have figured it out. So much like learning by doing though, like so much figuring out stuff by mistakes made and like,
and you can't be afraid to make the mistake. You can't be afraid to, okay, we're going to try this.
Right.
And if this pricing doesn't work, then we're going to adjust it.
Right.
And you don't really know until you have a data set to think about, right? Like you're going to stage for 3, 4, 6 months, a year, whatever. And then you're going to look back and say, okay, is this profitable? If not, how do I adjust my pricing to make it profitable?
Right.
That does sound like a very, you're just like a magical, like figure it out. Here's the price.
Yeah.
I don't know if this makes sense or not, and it's hard to get market data because other stagers aren't going to like share their business model with you too.
Right.
It's the same as like catering. Wedding caterers don't put their prices online.
Right.
You can't go shop around and see how much this caterer is charging for a buffet, right? They're not going to tell you.
Exactly.
You have to lie and pretend to be a bride and to get any pricing.
Yeah, it's the same. And I have had certain like realtors or people who've shown me the quote they got from this other company so I can kind of get an idea. Yeah. So I know I'm it's not far off. Like I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, I think somehow I guessed kind of accurately.
This episode is brought to you by Salt and Charm. We're a catering and events company based right here in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we've been feeding this community for a while now. We offer full service catering for weddings, corporate events, and private dinners, the kind of food and hospitality that makes people stop mid-conversation and say, wait, what was that? We also offer meal prep delivery and pickup because it turns out the people who hire us for their celebrations also want someone to handle Tuesday night dinner. And honestly, same. If you're planning an event or you're just tired of figuring out what's for dinner, we would love to be your people. Find us at saltandcharm.co or on Instagram at saltandcharm. And just for our listeners here on the podcast, use code podcast for 10% off your next meal prep purchase. So if your main client is the realtors, I would, especially for like the higher end properties.
Yes.
What is your strategy for courting realtors or building and maintaining relationship with them?
I don't have much of a strategy for that other than because a lot of this again has been word of mouth. And sometimes I'm so busy that I don't promote it.
You just take it as it comes.
Yes, because I'm like, oh God, because I hate to have to turn away any jobs and I can only I can't keep buying stuff all the time. But I go when I go to, I've gone to networking events and stuff. I hate them. I'm bad at them. I'm not good at them at all.
I don't know anybody that really does love them.
My mother.
Oh.
My mom loves them.
Okay.
She's going to watch this too. It's true. She loves networking, but I don't. I feel like I'm always a sitting duck for other people to be like, oh, you have a store? Hey, my friend does this. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Or I don't know. So I just my name just keeps getting shared. And so I've been recommended and I'm happy to say that's how
I mean, that's the best way because you're not spending money on marketing. You'll get your ideal client will be who's coming to you because they already know what they're looking for and they've been referred by the same group of people. So it's the same in my industry. Like when we are referred by a client, we do a dinner party at a house. They tell their neighbor about it. Well, that's the same kind of client, right? So we know that they're going to be our people, right?
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it. And there's no cost involved except for making sure you're providing really great service,
exactly,
and a great product, so they will want to refer you.
Yes,
so
that's what I try to do,
and that's why I asked about the maintaining of relationships with them because we found that's. I mean, we love the vendors that we work with anyway, so it's easy for us to, cultivate relationship there. But it's super important to keep your name in their mouth.
Yes. And I say all the time, this is a small town. It's not a big city where it's there's just, it's pretty small, and I feel like it's easy to get a bad reputation,
Oh, yeah.
So I just try to do my best and like try to be easy to work with, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well, it's so funny because thinking back, we learned a lot about how we didn't want to do business by what people would say to us about other businesses.
Oh, yeah.
So they would come to us saying, we used to use this person, but we're not anymore because blah, blah, blah. And they would just like, and I was like, well, good to know. I mean, not that I would ever do that anyway, but you learn a lot by listening to the experience of people who have used your competitors,
Yeah.
It's
No.
valuable information.
I know. And sometimes people won't tell me the value. I've heard people say why they won't go with a certain stager, or like not why. That's the thing I'm wondering is why. But they're like, oh, like, no. I know like some stories. I know that one that I got was the lady was mean, because part of what I do for staging is also to go into people's houses where they do live and tell them what to do with their own things to make their house photograph well and show
that
well.
that is scary.
It is. It's so you have to be careful about it because you don't want to offend people. And so that's what I know of another stager that was apparently kind of offensive, where she wasn't like, people have those things in their house because it's their house. They like it. And so you can't just be like, ew, get this out of here. And I don't know exactly how she was saying things, but I do know that there is a way, because it's their personal space. And so sometimes when I walk in, because that's always like the realtor brings me in for that too. And sometimes the way that I can tell they're kind of nervous and they think I'm going to go and like rip their place apart. And then they realize like it's actually okay. Because I also explain the why behind things, like, yes, these little doodads are adorable, but they look cluttered on a shelf in a small, or in like a little picture. So we got to get rid of those. So yeah.
Sometimes I think a better degree for business owners to have, other than a business degree, is a psychology degree.
I mean, for real, because so much of this is like especially like with the staging side of things, it's a lot of like little like psychological tricks.
You're
and like
getting
you have to,
you're getting in people's, first of all, in your client, you're getting into their business, their personal business. And then with prospective buyers of that house, you're getting into their mind and marketing that house in a very intentional way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's a feat.
Yeah.
It is a job.
So how are you balancing basically two very busy, successful businesses? How are you managing being where you need to be at all times? And
so luckily right now, at this very given moment, I have a solid staff that can cover the store. There was a moment this summer where I did not have that. And I would have to, I was just dividing my time where I would make sure I could either go to appointments before I had to be at the store or finish them when I was done at the store. I just had to figure out my own schedule, and just do it. It was very hard, very exhausting, but I just have to figure it out, I guess. And I always tell myself, worst case scenario is if I have to close the store for a day, I can do that. We don't perform brain surgery. We don't, we're not doing anything life-saving. It's nothing important. So I have to tell myself that sometimes, instead of being like, what am I going to do? I can't, it's just worst case scenario, I close the store. So I have to have that attitude sometimes.
Yeah. What are you, and apart from the business, what do you do in your personal life to, if anything, to take things off your plate so that you have, I know for me, I think about how I spend my time, what's important for me to spend my time on. And just in the last couple of years, like looking for personal responsibilities that I can outsource so that I am literally not doing 150 things in one day. Do you find that you've had to do that too?
I mean, let me think about that. Because I do try very, very hard to keep a work-life balance. And it wasn't until a couple years ago that I used to feel very, 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 very guilty not being at the store all the time. Like if I was off of work for a day or a few days or whatever, I felt so weird about it that I had to be doing something productive all the time. So lately, I feel like I do, because I have my solid staff, like my manager, Eliza, has stepped up so much in the last, like, she's worked for me for a long time, but she takes a lot off my plate at the store, which allows me to, do other things. Like, it's not like I have to go in there and do a million things there. So I feel like when the store is well covered by people who know like the ins and outs of the back end of things, then I have more time. Cause like, I mean, as you know, the back end of stuff, like it is time consuming
and it never ends.
And there's still so much I have to do myself that, no one can do.
There's always something you can do.
Oh, yeah.
And becoming the kind of human and business owner that can literally let something sit without feeling like you have to touch it. So I know sometimes I'll be sitting on the couch at night with my dogs and my daughter and my glass of wine, and I find myself with my computer in my lap, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
I do that all the time.
What are you doing?
I do it all the time. Like, which, I will say it's not always. It's annoying to have to shop for the store when we really need something like specific or whatever. But that's something I can do at my leisure. When I'm sitting on the couch with a glass of wine and then at night, I can sit, that's when I do that a lot of times. And so there's certain things I'm like, I can just kind of build it in. And
I would get in trouble if I shopped with a glass of wine. I spend way too much money when I have a glass of wine in my hand.
Sometimes I double order things and,
I book expensive trips when I'm drinking wine, and I shop. I shop online.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it can be, but hey, it's working.
Whatever, man. I'm like, it is what it is. I'm enjoying this. So, yeah. Okay. So, what if thinking back 17 years now, you were very green, kind of. You're a very smart woman, but in regards to business, I mean, I was dumb when I started Salt and Charm. I didn't know anything about running a business. So thinking back about what you didn't know, and now all these years later, what you know, what are some of the things you wish you could go back and do differently? One thing I would do is, I hired a bookkeeper from the beginning.
Okay.
But I would have hired a CPA from the beginning.
Okay.
That's one major thing. Not that I got into any kind of like weird trouble, or I didn't, but like being able to understand my numbers from the beginning would have made a huge difference for me. That's one major thing that I wish I could go back and really have somebody to teach me how to look at a P&L from the beginning. Because okay, this is a like confession that I didn't really start like reading my P&Ls until like 2 years ago.
Well, okay. So my thought on this is, because I'm not a big numbers person, and sometimes people will have like questions for me, like, oh, like what percentage of your business do you like? What do you make from staging versus the store? And I'm like, ooh, I don't know, because I don't really look at it all, because it just, numbers make my head swim. So that's why it's like, I know now, like I know how to look at it. I have QuickBooks, and so and I have. One of my best moves I ever did was hiring she works with my CPA, but it's a QuickBooks Pro who makes sure like all my tax stuff is like up to date. She does so much for me that I'm like, wow, you could just hijack my whole life and steal my identity if you want to. She has all my information.
Well, that's like one area of your business you don't want to get messed up, because it is so hard to untangle it.
I know. And I don't know about that stuff. Like I'm not like, just because someone owns a business does not mean that they know every single thing about how, like all that stuff. Like I'm not good at that. But I do have help with all of that. But as far as like, I just know, like I have to keep like, I just try to do the best I can all the time. Like I'm like, and I can see when money's coming in and when it's going out and stuff like that. But like,
you have a general understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's and I think my next thing. Well, and my CPA sometimes will function as a CFO for me.
Okay.
At times when I've really needed that, I've like added that task to her, and then she'll, it's just something she'll like meet with me once a month, and she'll function as a CFO.
Okay.
And that was a huge game changer for me, because she really helped me to understand what was happening in my business financially, and based off of what was happening right now, what that meant for what my business looked like in 6 months or a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And be able to make, to look at projections and make a plan and look at things in a different way than I know how to do. Because, I know the money's coming in and going out for sure. I'm very aware of that. And it goes out so fast.
Yes, it does.
But my brain also doesn't work in numbers like that. I'm a creative. And I have to force myself to think about numbers. But I think that's the thing I would go back and do is have the CPA that I have now have her from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because finding my CPA was a funny I've only written one blog ever. And that was back in the day. I don't remember what year I found them, but it was about my journey of trying to find a CPA, because I had a meeting. The first person that helped me was she was a customer, and she told me how to pay my sales tax each month.
Oh gosh.
And so I learned how to, I filled out a form and I mailed in a check at the time. Then I forgot what happened. She referred me to someone else. So then I was going to this other person who I don't remember all of what happened there, except that she was having me so I'd have my receipts throughout the day. She was having me tape each individual receipt to an 8x10 sheet of paper, just tape them all down, organize. And I was doing this for hours every day. And finally one day I asked her, why am I doing this? She's like, oh, just in case you're audited. And I'm like, in case I'm audited. So anyway, she ended up getting out of being a CPA altogether. I forgot what happened. So she referred me. Or no, I don't even think she referred me to anybody. I ended up going to a random company, had a meeting, telling the lady, okay, I don't know anything about this stuff. I need help with taxes, blah, blah, blah. And she would ask me questions. But when she was asking me questions, whenever I would answer, which I was open about not knowing anything, she would kind of chuckle to herself. And it was like on a movie where someone's like, okay. And she'd make a little note, and I'm like, what in the world? So I walked out there feeling like an idiot.
Right.
She nothing came of it. I don't even know what happened. It's like she rejected me. And so I ended up finding, the name of the company is Caratech, and Crystal is the owner. And I always say she's like my second mom, because she's there. I can text her with a question. And so she is the one that, helps me make sure all of my taxes are lined up. But she works in tandem with my CPA. So we make sure my QuickBooks file is up to date and all good. And then she gets it to him, and then he uses that to do my taxes.
And you don't have to tape your receipts to an 8.5 by 11 sheet.
Wild.
That is wild.
I was spending so much time doing that, and it was crazy.
Well, that's before. I don't even know what people were using for point of sale back then, but it probably wasn't something that could calculate sales tax and hold that, give you a report at the end of the month that's, and kept a transaction history that could print out a report for you. So,
well, my point of sale system, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is very, 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 very old school, and it does not connect to my QuickBooks. So it is, I have a 1979 cash register, and I handwrite receipts. It's great.
Do you do that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's wanting to go back to the 90s. So here you are.
Yeah. It never fails me. So I did have an updated point of sale system a while back, and it would mess up all the time. But when it would mess up, it wouldn't let me run a credit card at all. It would just be like, no. And because it was connected to the credit card swiper. And it was funny because at the time I used to have one of those you know what I'm talking about, whatever, which that wouldn't even work anymore because on credit cards, the numbers aren't always raised.
Right.
But people don't, if I'm like, hey, can I write down your credit card number? They're going to be like, no. And they're usually weirded out by it. So I hated that thing. So I went back to my 1979 register, and it just works like a little charm.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's annoying handwriting receipts, sure, but it never fails. I hate technology a lot. It's very much so.
Most people hate it. I hate it too. It's like a necessary evil. Yes. Unfortunately, it's like they're forcing us. They're forcing this stuff on us, and none of us want it.
It makes me uneasy. I don't like it. But it's also because I don't know what it is about me. I always joke and say I have an extra electron that I throw off and I mess everything up, because technology does not work with me very well. And it's stupid. It's so stupid. And it follows me everywhere. It's like, I'm not kidding when I say it. It's like if I got speakers for the store. I got them because my brother's super techie and he's like, go get Sonos. They're really easy. You just plug them in, you follow the prompts. No, it took me a total of 8 hours one day and 4 hours another day. I ended up taking them back to Costco and getting a different set, and they were fine. It was that, because I called the customer service at one point, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to hook up these speakers. And the lady was like, okay, yeah, I can see that you're online. Huh, that's weird. I don't know why that's happening, but that's the answer they all give me. Every time I call about something that's like technological or whatever, they're like, huh, that's weird. I don't know why that's happening. And I'm like,
that's so weird.
We never know. So I don't like technology.
So you keep your 1970s register, which hey, listen, I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
I think we need more of that. Less technology, more of that. Well, every time that, the bar, every time we lose internet, like we can't run transactions. It's like,
oh yeah.
And if you're, you can, there's a way you can do it offline, but then you can't run tips. You can't really do anything. And you're just hogtied because of the freaking internet.
The internet, I know. Yeah. Losing Wi-Fi, and that's happened several times where in the middle of a Saturday, we lose Wi-Fi. And same thing, we can't run a sale.
My phone at the kitchen is an internet phone. And we lost our internet last weekend on a Friday. And I called them and they were like, we can't be there till Monday. And I was like, are you kidding me? Because we can't get calls from our clients. We have events this week. Like we can't take payments. We can't do anything.
Oh my God.
The phone was in the desk right next to the kitchen, and it was a full staff that day because we were busy. And they like stopped what they were doing because I was freaking out. I was like, y'all are coming today. We can't come today. No, you're coming today.
Did they go that day? They
came today.
Oh, good.
They sure did.
Good. Yeah, that would be.
I said I told my team when I got off, they were like, are you okay? I was like, I just had to put my bitch hat on for a minute.
Good
it's the only way to get stuff done.
Good for you.
Only way to get it done. They don't listen to you unless you get bitchy.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but
yeah, it is stupid. But, man.
We have derailed into I don't even know what we're talking about.
I don't know either. I think it's going well though.
I think it's great. Well, I think when I was doing my research, and I knew you'd been around for a long time, I want to say the first time I met you was at Wilmington Fashion Week with TJ.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like that's when I first met you. So I knew you'd been around for a long time, but when I was doing my research and I realized just how long you've been around, I was like, that girl is like doing it. She's doing the thing and not deterred by all the craziness that has happened in 17 years for a small local shop to have gone through.
Yeah.
And still here.
I know. It's funny because sometimes I don't feel like it's been that long. Like I feel like, like just yesterday I started. And then other times I'm like, whoa, whoa, that's such a long time. Like I go back and forth between those feelings. But it's definitely been crazy.
Well, you definitely have the most important thing that an entrepreneur needs to have is like guts to just figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be able to dig in and just figure it out.
Figure it out, to not be afraid, and also to not wait until you feel like you know enough.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll never know enough. If you think you know enough, if you have a freaking MBA, well, you're going to start a business, you're going to realize how much you don't know.
Right.
So there's book smarts and then there's like reality smarts.
Yes.
And you have to be able to take things as they come and just figure it out.
Yes, that is the only way I have made it through is just roll. You have to roll with things and evolve and whatever. Yeah. And so it has been like that's the only way I can describe it. It's just, it has been a roller coaster, not consistent at all.
Well, I love it. And I am so proud to know you. And I think you're just awesome.
Thank you.
So where can people find you online? Where can they find your store?
Oh, the website? Like for
all of the things. Where can people
I'm
find
on
all
the Instagram.
On the Instagram.
And so Aqua Fedora is the handle for one. Aqua Home Staging, handle for the other. And then website, aquafedora.com.
Easy. And then the shop downtown is where?
Oh, 30 North Front Street, right next to I Love New York Pizza.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you stay open super late?
No. No, in the summer, the latest, like if we have an event, we'll stay up until 8, but we close at 7 in the summer.
Well, nothing good happens downtown after like the sun goes down. So
yeah, I know. I don't understand it. It's like I know that fights happen right outside the store all the time. Like I was waiting for an Uber a few months ago outside of your barrio, and because the pizza line goes right in front of the store. A fight broke out the pizza line, and I'm like, great. I've had a window broken from that before.
Oh, I know. Like nothing happens. My son was downtown. It was like a month or so ago. I forget. And he was there. He was there later than I like him to be down there. And I keep telling him nothing happens good downtown after this time. And he came home. He told me the next morning. He was like, "You were right. And I will not be downtown again."
Yeah, it's so
after
I don't know
8 o'clock.
Yeah, during the day it's fine. During the day it's fine.
Yes,
it's
when
just
when Jenna's open during the day, it's super safe.
It's totally fine.
And
But yeah,
lovely.
at nighttime, I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah, people lose their minds.
People lose their minds.
Lose their minds. Everybody needs to calm down. Everybody needs to calm down.
They really do.
Jenna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I loved having you here, and everybody go buy things from Jenna.
Please. Thank you.
And if you're selling a house, she's your girl.
I can help.
Thanks for joining me on Business from Scratch. Follow the show for more honest conversations about building a business that works for you.